NBA fans are gearing up for the start of another highly anticipated season and are counting down the hours until the first step on Tuesday, October 18. On opening night, the Warriors will collect their championship rings before taking on LeBron James and the Lakers. Well, fans are expected to fork out as much as $900 for a ticket to watch the game, the second highest ticket price for an NBA game. But the Warriors' start to the season has been rocked by controversy. Star forward Draymond Green has spent the last few days away from the team after a video emerged showing him violently punching teammate Jordan Poole during a recent altercation at training. The Warriors have announced that while Green has been fined over the incident, the 32-year-old will not be suspended. Warriors head coach Steve Kerr was asked about the incident at a press conference earlier today.
Going to come back to practice on Thursday. He's been fined. He will not be suspended. I expect him to play Friday in our last preseason game and on opening night. We have spent the last week in deep discussions with all of our key figures in the organization, including Jordan and Draymond, of course, Steph, all of our players, Bob, myself. And I can tell you there have been a lot of conversations, individual, one-on-one discussions, players-only discussions, everything that you can think of, all the different combinations that are possible to have in a conversation. We've had them. It's been an exhaustive process. We feel like we have a great feel for our team. You know, we've got a lot of continuity on this team, so Bob and I know our players extremely well, and we feel like this is the best way, after assessing everything, for us to move forward. It's never easy. No matter what decision you make in a situation like this, it's not going to be perfect.
Well, the question begs to be asked, George, should Draymond Green have been suspended as well?
It goes down to what Warriors' policy is as it concerns physical confrontations or physical altercations between teammates and staff, physical altercations within the organization. On the surface, it would seem as if those guidelines are either nebulous or speak nothing at all about a fine in this specific instance, a punishment rather, in this specific instance, because one would expect that the rules would say that if you show violence or if you use violence against a teammate, then it is that there will be a period of suspension along with a fine. Usually, to things like these, you get a punishment that is more in keeping with time served away from the team. The ultimate punishment is to go to prison. Even when you're in prison, you're still fined. Right. It's a matter of course. So one would have expected that at this level, not talking about prison matters now and criminal matters, that within the organization, there would have been a hefty fine to go along with a suspension. So the fact that the Warriors didn't go there is because they knew that they didn't have a leg to stand on in terms of what the rules say, the letter of the law says about how to treat with something like this. And maybe it is that the reasoning was that, look, let's fine him, draw a line under it, because there's nothing that says if you punch your teammate, especially given the circumstances of the punch, which is going to be the next point I hope you'll raise for me to discuss, that may be why Draymond Green is facing a fine and not a suspension.
Yeah, well, you speak about, the laws, and you already prompted my question, the circumstances of the punch.
Because here's the thing, Mariah, it could be we only saw the punch.
But we don't know the reasoning.
Yeah, we don't know if Jordan Poole was persistent in saying things to Draymond Green that upset Draymond Green, that Draymond Green then made clear to Jordan Poole that, sir, I'm not...
But still, that is no reason to punch somebody, though.
Well, no, you can't say that, because here's the thing. I'm saying, if I provoke you enough, you're going to lash out. That's the thing. So your threshold for something like that may be different to mine. And you may be in a good mood one day and your threshold for ribbing is high. You may be in a bad mood one day and your threshold for the same thing is low. So I'm saying, of course, there's no excuse for a man not physically harming you and then you physically harming them first. And that's what Draymond Green did. So I'm agreeing with you on principle, but I'm saying we don't know if Draymond Green if Jordan Poole rather was persistent in saying something to Draymond Green made it clear that look, cut that out. We don't know if it was persistent over the training session, if it had been persistent over several days prior and it was building up. We don't know if people within the training session said, all right, Jordan, knock it off now. And he persisted.
Right.
We don't know if Draymond said, look, if you say it one more time, I'm going to do whatever. We don't know. So maybe in its investigation, the club went into those details and built a trail of events, a chronology of events, and said, well, look, yes, it looked bad that you punched him, but based on what happened before you punched him, it is only justifiable for us to fine you for the punch and not suspend you because you were the ultimate aggressor, but you weren't the one who stoked the fires of the altercation. That may be the reason.
Right, and as we get ready for the NBA, of course, basketball, a team sport, no secret. Do you think that this will affect the Warriors? And I'm talking about their game on the court.
Here's how it could affect the Warriors. It could affect the Warriors if there is a Jordan Poole camp inside the team. So if there are players who are aligned with Jordan Poole and who feel as if Jordan Poole was disrespected by Draymond Green and who feel that regardless of the circumstances, the Warriors ought to have taken stronger action against Jordan Poole. There's going to be resentment against Draymond Green and it could disrupt the harmony within the basketball club. Now, is Jordan Poole of the stature in the Warriors organization for him to have a sizable contingent supporting him and seething beneath the surface so as to hate Draymond Green and cause disruption to the Warriors dressing room? I don't think so. If you had two superstar players, then it would be natural to think that there be camps. One camp Draymond Green, one camp Jordan Poole, and so the clash of these two camps within the organization would cause problems. But I don't think Jordan Poole is of a stature like that in the Warriors organization for him to have enough people behind him to be seething and to be carrying resentment for Draymond Green to then cause it to translate into disruption for the Warriors as a basketball organization.
But you do know that if Jordan Poole doesn't put up the numbers this season, that's going to be one of the points.
Well, if Draymond Green doesn't play well, you're going to hear that he's still bothered by it, and perhaps, you know, his mind is not in it and his heart is not with the Warriors anymore, and the fact of the Jordan Poole altercation is symptomatic of something deeper. You know how analysts are, we read deep into things that don't exist some of the times.
Yeah.
So that could happen, but I wish for the Warriors a trouble-free defense of their title, because whoever beats them should beat them, well, whatever happens to them, it should happen to them with them playing their best basketball and teams just being better than them, if indeed they are.
Definitely. Well, let's take a look now at some of the latest preseason results. Okay, so we had the Magic overcoming the Grizzlies in that first preseason match. The Thunder overcoming the Pistons. Then we had the Bulls beating the Bucks. What about the Spurs? They won that match against the Jazz. And Warriors, they seem to be playing fine. They beat up the Trailblazers, George.
Yeah, by 33 points.
So they're fine. Everything seems good in their camp. We go to break. We'll be back.